Chosen one. This isn't just another rumor. This is revelation. And whether you realize it yet or not, the truth is no longer hiding. Yes, they thought they were safe. They whispered in corners. They plotted behind your back. They assumed your silence was weakness. Your grace was ignorance. But what they didn't know was that heaven heard every word, every message, every lie, every sick little scheme. They didn't realize the courtroom of the spirit world had already been in session, long before their plans began. While they were busy planting seeds of deception, the divine was documenting everything. Chosen one. You didn't need to shout. You didn't need to prove anything. Because when you're walking in truth, even silence becomes a sword. The more they tried to ruin you, the more the truth rose up like sunlight breaking through fog. You didn't chase validation. You carried vibration. You didn't demand justice. You became justice by existing in alignment with your higher calling. And now, the mask has slipped. The sick game has been exposed. And the person who once operated in the shadows is now the center of spiritual trial, a cosmic cross-examination watched by both heaven and earth. They thought they could speak against you without consequence, but energy never lies, and the universe never forgets. Let me tell you what's really happening. This betrayal wasn't random. It wasn't just gossip or jealousy. It was an attempt to assassinate your spirit, spiritually calculated, emotionally engineered. They wanted to dim your light by dirtying your name. They thought, if they could get enough people to doubt you, you'd start doubting yourself. But here's what they didn't understand. Your name was never their weapon. Your name is sealed in heaven, and no lie formed against you can override what heaven has written. So while they poisoned your name behind closed doors, heaven poured oil on your head in open spaces. While they manipulated others to distance themselves from you, God cleared the path for those worthy to draw closer. And now the tables are turning. Conversations are shifting. Those who once stayed silent are starting to speak. The room that once echoed with your absence is now buzzing with your vindication. People are asking questions, realizing patterns, remembering moments that didn't add up. And suddenly the liar is looking a lot like a liar. Chosen one. Do you feel it? Do you feel the winds changing? This is not just gossip catching up. This is spiritual gravity at work. This is the justice system of the cosmos, realigning timelines and revealing what was once hidden. You don't have to explain yourself anymore. You don't have to clear your name, because your light, your consistency, your walk did that for you. Every silent step you took in faith was louder than their accusations. So ask yourself, have you ever seen the truth protect you while you stood still and stayed silent? Because that's the power of divine alignment. You see, truth doesn't always come riding in with trumpets. Sometimes it creeps in like dawn, soft, steady, undeniable. And suddenly, what was in darkness can no longer hide. And the one who tried to bury you, they're now buried in the consequences of their own lies. Affirm this with me, chosen one. I don't need to defend myself. My light defends me. Say it again, slower. Let it sink in. I don't need to defend myself. My light defends me. This isn't revenge. This is rebalancing. This isn't drama. This is divine documentation being unsealed in real time. And it's only the beginning. The truth is out. And you, chosen one, are finally standing where you were always meant to be. Not in the shadows, not under suspicion, but in the light. And trust me, the story is about to get even more powerful from here. Chosen one. There comes a moment after the storm has passed, after the dust has settled, where the silence speaks louder than any apology. And in that silence, you start to see the truth, not just about them, but about you. they lost everything. You found yourself. While they scrambled to preserve their image, you surrendered the pain that once held you hostage. You let go. You released the weight. You stopped chasing closure from people who were never capable of offering it. And the moment you did, heaven stepped in and began rebuilding what the world tried to destroy. Chosen one, they lost reputation. You gained revelation. They lost connection. You gained clarity. They lost control. You gained freedom. This is what they didn't expect. They thought your healing would depend on their remorse, but your elevation never required their permission. God was never waiting for their apology to begin your restoration. The irony, while they fought to keep the lies alive, you were resurrecting in truth, in silence, in secret. And now your internal freedom is more powerful than any title they tried to strip from you. Let's be clear. They lost things the world can measure: status, influence, friends, opportunities. But you reclaimed something eternal: peace of mind, emotional wholeness, a heart no longer chained to betrayal, a spirit no longer leaking energy into dead connections. It's not that you didn't lose anything, but what you thought was loss was really sacred subtraction. Heaven removed what couldn't walk with you into your next level, and now you're walking lighter. You're breathing deeper. You're starting to feel something you haven't felt in a long time: yourself. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt. Every tear you cried watered the soil of your next season. Every betrayal cracked the shell that was holding back your true power. You didn't just survive this. You were transformed by it. So when people ask, "How are you still standing?" just smile and say, "I didn't lose anything. I just got back what was always mine." Because your joy, it was never theirs to take. Your purpose, never on loan. Your anointing, untouchable. Chosen one. Heaven is in the process of divine reconstruction. Piece by piece, God is restoring what was stolen, but not as it was, as it should have always been. The old you needed approval. The new you needs only alignment. The old you tolerated their energy. The new you protects your frequency. The old you stayed quiet to keep the peace. The new you speaks truth, because peace without truth is just a pretty prison. So let me ask you now, can you feel it? Can you sense the rebuild happening inside you? The real you, unbothered, unbound, unbreakable, is waking up. This is your season of reversal, where their chaos becomes your clarity, where their downfall becomes your deliverance, where their darkness becomes the backdrop to your rising light. And now it's time to declare it. Type this in the comments: "I am being rebuilt by heaven." If you feel this shift deep in your spirit, claim it, because the more you speak it, the more your soul aligns with it. This isn't just healing. This is heavenly construction, a rebuilding that makes no sense to those who watched you break. But you're not broken anymore. You're wiser. You're stronger. You're standing in something they can't touch: divine freedom. So say it with me now, loud and clear: "I didn't lose anything. I just got back what belongs to me." And you mean it, because this time, you're not building from pain. You're building from truth. You are the living proof that the chosen one can't be canceled, only called higher. Chosen one, you didn't clap back. You didn't seek revenge. You didn't need to, because while they plotted, while they mocked, while they tore down your name in secret, heaven was listening. You stayed silent, but heaven spoke. You stayed still, but the spiritual courtroom moved on your behalf, and now the verdict is being carried out, not by your hands, but by divine authority. This is not karma. This is kingdom justice. Every consequence they're now facing, every loss, every collapse, every sleepless night is not coincidence. It is the voice of heaven echoing back the choices they made against you. Chosen one, listen closely. This is the part where most people would gloat, but not you. Why? Because you know, peace is your justice. Your silence is not weakness. It is spiritual warfare at its highest level. You don't retaliate because the Most High fights for you. They thought you were weak when you didn't respond. They thought you lost when you didn't lash out. But now they see you were never ignoring them. You were simply handing them over to a higher court, heaven's court. And heaven does not play favorites. Heaven does not forget. While they were celebrating your pain, the scales of justice were tipping. And now, the balance is due. It's not about revenge. It's not about getting even. It's about spiritual order. And spiritual order always restores what was stolen without you having to lift a finger. Have you seen it? The slow unraveling of the one who hurt you. The confusion in their eyes as the life they once controlled begins to fall apart. The tension they carry in rooms that used to praise them. The energy they can't hide. The consequences they can't outrun. This is not your doing. This is the result of a system they thought didn't exist. Divine law. And while they spiral downward, you, chosen one, are rising higher than you ever imagined. Not because you won, but because you refused to become like them. And that's the difference. Your soul stayed clean. Your energy remained pure. You did not curse them. You blessed yourself by walking away. So today we pause, not to celebrate their downfall, but to recognize heaven's faithfulness. Because when you were in your lowest moment, God saw. When you cried alone, God listened. When you wanted to fight back but held your peace, God recorded it all. And now the records are being read. So let me ask you, chosen one, have you ever watched someone's life fall apart without ever having to lift a hand against them? That's what divine justice looks like. It doesn't shout. It doesn't show up with flashing lights. It moves quietly, precisely, perfectly. And now it's your turn to rise, to breathe again, to finally live free of the burden they tried to place on your shoulders. They called you dramatic, but now they're the ones living in chaos. They called you unstable, but now their lives are unraveling thread by thread. They said you were too sensitive, but now they can't bear the weight of the truth that's chasing them. Because the truth always wins, and heaven always vindicates the one it anoints. So say this out loud with me. Peace is my justice. Heaven has already ruled in my favor. And if you feel this in your soul, if you've seen it happening right in front of your eyes, type this in the comments. Heaven has already ruled. I am free. Because the battle is over. The gavel has fallen. And you, chosen one, have already won. Chosen one. Their jealousy was never your fault. Let that sink in. Because for so long you questioned yourself. You toned yourself down. You made yourself smaller just to make others comfortable. But the truth is, your light didn't hurt them. It simply revealed what they hadn't healed. You didn't wound them with your presence. You awakened the wounds they've been hiding from. Because when a healed soul meets another soul filled with light, it celebrates. But when a broken soul meets the light, it recoils. It hides. It attacks. Not because the light is evil, but because the light demands truth. You are that truth. And they couldn't handle the mirror you held up, just by being yourself. Your consistency exposed their chaos. Your peace stirred their turmoil. Your favor reminded them of everything they buried. Your very existence whispered, there's more. And they hated you for it. But hear this, chosen one. You didn't steal anything from them. You just activated what was dormant inside you. You chose to step into your assignment, and that made them face the parts of themselves that stayed sleeping. You didn't compete. You didn't chase. You didn't manipulate. You just aligned. And alignment is louder than ambition. It speaks volumes without saying a word. And to the insecure, that silence is deafening. So they tried to dim you. With side eyes, with rumors, with silence. With passive-aggressive energy they hoped would make you shrink. But what they didn't realize was that your light wasn't powered by approval. It was powered by divine appointment. You are not battery-operated. You are oil-anointed. And heaven doesn't run out of oil. So let this be clear. You are not sorry for shining. You are not sorry for being consistent. You are not sorry for the grace that follows you. You are not sorry that when you walk into a room, the temperature changes. Because your presence is not arrogance, it's alignment. Say it out loud with me. I am not sorry for shining. And if you've ever had to dim your light because of jealousy, because of cold stares, because of envy that wrapped itself in smiles, drop this in the comments. I will no longer apologize for my light. Because here's the truth. You were never the problem. You were the activation. And sometimes activation triggers resistance. They didn't envy you because of what you had. They envied the peace you carried while having it. They weren't mad at the blessing. They were mad that it came to someone who didn't beg for it. You moved differently. You prayed when no one saw. You healed in silence. You honored your assignment even when it hurt. So no, they weren't just jealous of your results. They were disturbed by your process because your process was private and powerful. And now that it's public, they don't know how to process what they never expected you to survive. But you did. And now you're standing here, whole, wiser, brighter. So what now? Now you take up space. Now you let your light speak without apology. Now you walk boldly into every room heaven assigns you to. Because this is your time. Your name has been cleared in the courts of heaven. Your path is protected. Your purpose is undeniable. Let the healed ones celebrate you. Let the triggered ones exit quietly. Either way you shine. And the more they try to fight your light, the more heaven makes it burn brighter. This is your legacy. This is your design. And you don't have to explain it to anyone. Chosen one, they are coming back. Not because they love you, not because they've changed, but because they're empty. And the emptiness is loud now, too loud to ignore. So they come knocking, not out of affection, but out of starvation. This isn't restoration. This is spiritual vampirism. They remember how your energy made them feel alive, how your light gave them identity, how your presence covered the broken places they refused to heal. But now, you've taken that light back. You've reclaimed your peace, and they're gasping, not for forgiveness, but for fuel. They send the late-night texts. They drop the "I miss you" lines. They mention memories as if nostalgia equals repentance. But make no mistake, they are not returning to rebuild. They're returning to refill. Their tank is dry, their spiritual power cut off, their clarity clouded. And you, chosen one, you are the last source they remember. But hear this loud and clear. You are not a gas station for unhealed souls. You are not an emergency charger for someone who keeps draining their battery in darkness. You don't exist to recharge those who refuse to plug into the source for themselves. Say it with me. I am not a backup generator for unstable spirits. You gave freely once. You poured without measuring. You believed in them even when they doubted you. But they didn't appreciate it. They consumed your peace. They dined at your table and spat on your name once they were full. Now the feast is over. The tables have turned, and suddenly they remember your worth. No, chosen one, they remember your utility, not your value. They remember how you made them feel, but they still refuse to face how they made you bleed. This is not reconciliation. This is spiritual survival instinct. They're not reaching for your heart. They're reaching for your power. Let's be clear. Love and lack don't speak the same language. What they're offering now is not transformation, it's transaction. I'm sorry becomes a currency. I miss you becomes a tool. I've changed becomes the bait, but your soul can feel the truth beneath the surface, and truth never lies. You must discern, chosen one. Don't let the softness of their voice cover the sharpness of their past. Don't confuse exhaustion with enlightenment. The timing is too perfect, their chaos too loud, your glow too strong, and suddenly they want back in. Number, because this is not about love. This is about access. And access to your energy is a privilege, not an entitlement. You've healed too much. You've walked through fire. You've rebuilt what they tried to destroy. Let them feel the silence now. Let them sit in the void they created. Let them learn that the absence of your energy is the consequence of their choices. Because grace is not infinite when it's abused. And boundaries are the language of healed souls. Comment below. I will not mistake lack for love. Because love shows up changed. Love takes accountability. Love doesn't return just to receive. It returns ready to give. And if what they bring to your doorstep is only apology and need, that's not love. That's hunger. Protect your light, chosen one, because some are not drawn to your soul. They're drawn to your shine, and they hope to steal some of it before you see through them. But not this time. You've learned, you've grown, and heaven is watching. Keep your peace, keep your power, and never forget, you are not a second chance for someone who refused to change the first time. Chosen one. You didn't chase revenge. You didn't scream for justice. You didn't try to control the narrative. Instead, you healed. You held your ground. You honored your boundaries. And heaven noticed. Every time you chose peace over retaliation. Every time you said no when your soul screamed yes. Every time you kept your energy sacred instead of entertaining chaos. A door opened in the spirit. This is divine law in motion. Cause and effect at the highest level. Not man's law, not society's approval, but spiritual law etched into the blueprint of creation itself. Chosen one, look around you. The signs are not random, the repeating numbers, the dreams that feel like instructions, the sudden support that appears the moment you need it. That wasn't coincidence, that was confirmation. Heaven is speaking, and it's saying, you are aligned, you are protected, you are rising. What used to feel like struggle now flows. Where you once felt overlooked, now you're being highlighted. People are noticing your glow. Doors you never knocked on are opening by themselves. Why? Because spiritual law is precise. Because the universe keeps perfect records. Your name has been whispered in rooms you haven't entered. Your spirit has been recognized by dimensions you cannot yet see. And your obedience to truth has not gone unnoticed. Say it with me. Everything I receive is the result of alignment with heaven. That's not pride. That's acknowledgement. You're not boasting in yourself. You're boasting in the system of divine justice that never fails. Chosen one, you are living proof that staying in your light pays off. You are walking evidence that peace is power, that integrity is louder than scandal, that purity is stronger than manipulation. And while others are scrambling, chasing clout, begging for relevance, you're attracting divine increase without even trying. Let's talk about those signs, those 1111s, those 222s, those 333s showing up on clocks, receipts, license plates. Those are cosmic timestamps, holy echoes that say, you're on time, you're aligned, you're not alone. Maybe you've had a stranger speak life into you. Maybe a random opportunity just found you. Maybe you've had a dream that felt more real than waking life. That's not fantasy, That's revelation. That's your spiritual promotion being announced across dimensions. Your elevation is loud, but it's not noisy. It's silent, sacred, but undeniable. Others feel it. Some are in awe. Some are confused. Some are envious. But you just keep glowing. You just keep moving. Because you're not here for approval, you're here for assignment. Drop a comment below. Tell us the spiritual signs you've been seeing lately. Because your story helps others recognize their own journey. This is not the season to hide your blessings. This is not the time to downplay your elevation. Heaven is using you as a billboard for alignment. Let them see what favor looks like. Let them see what happens when you trust God's timing. Let them witness the supernatural rewards of restraint. Because chosen one, while others fought for attention, you waited for instruction. And now, the instruction is clear. Rise, shine, take your place. You're not just healing anymore. You're leading, and your life is becoming a testimony carved in light. Chosen one. Their collapse was loud, but your rise was legendary. Yes, they tried to bury you in darkness. Yes, they threw stones, whispered lies, and turned hearts against you. But here's what they didn't know. You were not buried. You were planted. And now, you are breaking through the soil of every false narrative they sowed over your name. Rising with strength, rising with clarity, rising with purpose. But don't be mistaken. This is not the end of the story. This is not just a victory lap. This is an assignment. This is a launching. This is divine deployment. You were not just chosen to survive. You were chosen to lead, to carry light into places still covered in shadow. Their downfall is not your trophy. It is your signal. The moment their schemes collapsed was the moment heaven handed you the scroll, a sacred scroll, sealed with your next mission. A new chapter, a new elevation, a higher frequency of impact. And the real question now is this: are you ready? Are you ready to stop looking back and start stepping forward? Are you ready to stop wondering why it happened and start asking what now? Because chosen one, you've been refined by fire. The ashes are behind you. Now you carry anointing. Say it out loud. I am no longer just a survivor. I am a sent one. This is the spiritual transition. The courtroom of heaven has ruled in your favor, and now the King has sent for you to speak, to rebuild, to break generational curses, to unlock healing with your testimony. You're not stepping into comfort. You're stepping into commission. You've been upgraded, spiritually recalibrated, rewired for kingdom work. The pain didn't disqualify you. It qualified you. The betrayal didn't break you. It built you. You now walk with divine authority because you passed the test without becoming bitter. You stayed pure in a polluted environment. You chose silence instead of slander. And heaven took notes. Chosen one, hear me clearly. This is your coronation moment. Not a crown placed by people, but a calling sealed by God. And you didn't chase it, it chased you, because you are ready now, ready for visibility, ready for spiritual leadership, ready to carry blueprints from heaven. You've crossed the threshold. There's no going back to smallness, no returning to watered-down conversations, no shrinking to make others comfortable. Your light is too full now, your presence too charged, your words too precise. And while others are still trying to figure out what happened, you're already 10 steps ahead, moving with heaven's wind at your back. Drop a comment below. I'm ready for the next chapter. If your soul feels this divine summons, because this isn't just a video, this is a confirmation, a trumpet blast in the spirit. Heaven is saying, go, shine, release what I've placed in you. Chosen one, they tried to silence you. But now the stage is yours, not for applause, but for purpose. Say it one more time. I'm not who I used to be. I am chosen. I am protected. I am sent.